Hello, la la la. Another day, another show. Welcome, episode 46. Wow. I feel like I should do something special for 100. I know I'm thinking a little bit far ahead, but who knows? Maybe by episode 100, I'll have my shit together, and this will be better produced than what it already is. Hello, everybody. Smells like Wrasslin. Again, on another Wednesday night after Dynamite. Apologize for the late start. Real life job took over, so I had to do that before I came here. But I assure you, I watched Dynamite, minus, I think, the last two matches. Not gonna lie, I didn't watch, well, I mean, I kind of did. I was, like, rushing and making dinner while I was watching the matches, so, like, I know what happened, but a detailed play-by-play, I cannot give you. But I do have my thoughts on the match and whatnot. And I just realized this is the last show of 2022. So, after the Dynamite review, let's talk about some of the best stuff in wrestling that's happened this past year. In the chat, I want to hear favorite matches, best booker, best promoter, anything that you feel was standout this year. Drop that in the chat. No matter where we're at in the review, we'll definitely stop and touch on it. So hopefully I'm going to answer to you guys as close to real time as possible. I have the chat up here. I think there's a little bit of a delay, so it might be a little bit late when I see him, but yeah, definitely, thoughts on 2022, best matches, wrestler of the year, all that good stuff. Definitely after the show, I'm going to let you guys in on some of my favorite things from this year in the world of wrestling, and yeah, we'll keep on keeping on. In terms of wrestling news, it's been relatively quiet. No one's been doing anything that they shouldn't be doing on social media or anything like that, and no one's been injured, no one's been suspended. So far, pretty quiet, which is nice, because we could just focus on the things that we like about wrestling instead of all the things that are fucking up. But anywho, tonight was New Year's Smash, AEW Dynamite live. We had the match 6 in the Falls Count in the match 6 in the best of 7 series between the current champs, Death Triangle, versus the challengers, the Elite. The Elite have to win every single match to win the whole thing. So tonight was a must win for the Elite. This was a Falls Count Anywhere match with the best of 7 series finishing up in Los Angeles at the Forum in a ladder match. Ruby Soho and Willow Nightingale fight Tamello and Anna Jay. The TNT title was on the line. Samoa Joe, who is also the current Ring of Honor TV champion, is fighting former champion Wardlow. Top Flight, which is Darius and Dante Martin, fight Claudio Castagnoli and Jon Moxley. And to start the show off, we had Ethan Page versus Bryan Danielson. So this I thought was a great opener. And I love Ethan Page. I thought the matches that he had with Orange Cassidy a couple of weeks, actually, he had a match with Orange Cassidy at Blood and Guts, which I thought was great. Honestly, Ethan Page doesn't really have a bad match. He's a fantastic personality. It's just such a crowded roster in AEW. Like, if there are guys that you like, I feel like, and you don't see them on TV now and they're not being featured, like, I just feel like you just got to hold out and be patient. I don't know how long it takes for, like, Tony to, like, bring in, like, fresher guys and whatnot, but, you know, I'm glad that Ethan Page is getting television time. I'm glad he's getting matches. I'm just especially glad he's getting matches with a guy, as high a caliber of a wrestler as Bryan Danielson. Stokely came out in a baseball cap, making reference to Danielson talking about the lights shining off of his bald head. So I thought that was cool. I thought that was cool continuity and what was going on. Great match. Danielson picks up the win. As soon as they got to the ring, MJF, his music hits. He was in the luxury suite with some lady. He basically shit all over Danielson, calling him Brian Brain Damage. Page was visibly not happy with MJF showing up. Obviously, there's some friction between the firm and MJF, so MJF obviously not making many friends anywhere. But yeah, this did turn into a Danielson win. He got the Regal stretch on Ethan Page, and which made him fall unconscious, which got the win. Danielson stares down MJF after the match. So obviously this is going to be the big match. This is going to be the big title defense that MJF is going to have. Who knows if he has a couple of smaller, insignificant ones that just give him something to do in the meantime. But it looks like, if I'm not mistaken, I would say that it's going to be MJF versus Danielson for the title at Revolution, which is the next AEW pay-per-view, unless they have some sort of event like a Winter is Coming where they stack the card. So, who knows? They do a video package about the TNT title match, which is going to main event the night. It was basically Samoa Joe saying how he used being close to Wardlow to kind of like study him and basically take what was his, which was to take what he wanted, which was the TNT belt. Samoa Joe has made it abundantly clear ever since he came into the company that he was going after every title. So I guess this whole team thing was a whole thing to lure Wardlow into a false sense of security and allowed Samoa Joe to get enough, info on him to take him out, which he did, and took the belt from him. Immediately after that video package, they go backstage. We got Renee Paquette. She's asking Wardlow about the video package that they ran with Samoa Joe. Wardlow said Joe's all about powerful words, but tonight's about powerful action. And then all of a sudden, out of nowhere, Samoa Joe, Nancy Kerrigan's Wardlow, and freaking takes him out behind the knee with a steel pipe. I still can't believe that fucking happened. That's fucking wild. Not the Wardlow thing. The fact that, like, Nancy Kerrigan, like, legit got fucking attacked. Like, that's wild. Anywho. They do a tag match. They do a video backstage segment again with Renee Paquette. She's all over the place. She's running here. She's running there. She's running everywhere. She's backstage with the Doctors, Dark Order, and Hangman Page. Doctors said that they are potentially 2 weeks away from Page being ring ready. But he has to stop going after Moxley, because every single time he gets into a fight with Moxley, it sets him back on his recovery, and it may get to the point where he's never going to be able to wrestle again. So Hangman takes these words seriously, and he basically is going to not get into any physical altercation with Moxley, I assume, until 2 weeks from now in the big show in Los Angeles, because it looks like they're stacking that Los Angeles show up big time. It's going to be spoiler alert for the end of the show, but the Young Bucks won, if you didn't already know. So they're going match 7, which is at the Forum next week. And they're going to stack it up also with Moxley versus Hangman. So that show in Los Angeles is shaping up to be a pretty must-see show. Top Flight against Jon Moxley and the current Ring of Honor World Champion Claudio Castagnoli. Another fantastic match. Top Flight, they were able to give as much as they got, which is good. I mean, you don't want to bury them as a tag team. They're young, very promising tag team. As long as both of them could stay healthy, the sky's the limit for those guys. All they need is one match like the Acclaim the Acclaim had, that put them over big time to the point where they had to put the belt on these guys. That's all that they need. They need to stay healthy enough for that to happen. Otherwise, enough where they have paid enough dues where they could be like legitimate champions. So, but obviously they weren't going to win tonight. It was going to be Moxley and Castagnoli, which is exactly what happened. Blackpool Combat Club comes out on top over Top Flight. Though I gotta say this, the crowd for the last couple of weeks has been awesome. It's been hot. It's been exciting. People cheered at the people they were supposed to cheer at. They booed the people they were supposed to boo at. Like, it just seems like the last couple of weeks, the live audience at AEW Dynamite has had one hell of a show and has had one hell of a time. And not gonna lie, the last couple of shows of Dynamite weren't bad. They were actually pretty solid. Stapling all these elite matches together, the stuff that's going on with MJF, the awesome stuff that's been going on with Ricky Starks. A lot of guys are stepping up at just the right place, at just the right time. They are still kind of hovering below the million mark in terms of ratings on Wednesdays. I know everyone likes that over the million magic number. I don't know why. I guess a million is just a flashier number to show about. They've kind of been hovering around like the 800-900 range. So I'm very curious as to what's going to happen this week in terms of the ratings. Hold on a second. They were pretty rough with those guys. I mean, obviously they're a hard-hitting tag team, but that's what they had to be. Great match. Next match, another match with Hook. Last couple of weeks, we've been seeing a lot of Hook. Hook is after tonight 18-0. He is undefeated. So I am very curious as to what Hook's place will be on Dynamite, because it was very easy to have him on Rampage where he was kind of beating nobodies. Now he's getting into some interesting feuds. He's feuding with the Firm right now. He's teaming up with Jungle Boy. It looks like Jungle Boy and Hook are going to go after Lee Moriarty and Big Bill and from the Firm. I guess this is a way to showcase Hook and to keep Jungle Boy on television for the eventual return of Christian Cage, who will eventually, they're going to have their big blowout match, which I am assuming will be at Revolution, as long as Christian, I guess, is healthy by then. So that's the only reason I could think of that they're just putting Hook out there. I assume it's just to keep Jungle Boy out on TV with the fans, trying to still keep his momentum so that they could pop it off with Christian Cage, and then they could push Jungle Boy onto whatever it is they have planned for him after Christian Cage. Because whatever it is, they've been having Jungle Boy tread water for the last several months in order so that he could pop off with Christian Cage. So we'll see what happens. Hook beats this guy, Balaam Links, the end. After the match, Stokely Hathaway comes out, Lee Moriarty comes out, Big Bill comes out. They start talking trash with Hook. Compared him to Southwest Airlines, which I just found out canceled a whole bunch of flights, so everyone's upset with them. Jungle Boy comes up out of nowhere, jumps Lee Moriarty. They start fighting on the ramp. While that's going on, you have Big Bill and Hook having a stare down. Hook's not moving an inch. Big Bill goes for the throat. Looks like he's gonna choke slam him. Hook gets out, teases a freaking some sort of suplex. I forgot what it's called. That particular kind of suplex that he does. Maybe he was trying to get him into the Red Rum. I don't know. But he lifted Big Bill off of his feet for a solid 2-3 seconds, which is impressive. And if before anyone says 2-3 seconds isn't a long time, try and pick up a guy like fucking I don't know why they call him Big Bill. It's such a shitty name. I almost prefer, W. Morrissey. I'm not going to call him Big Cass. It's Big Bill, I guess. Fuck. Anywho, try picking up a guy like fucking Big Bill for over 3 seconds, you son of a bitch. Guarantee you that shit is not going to happen from anybody listening to this goddamn podcast right now. So kudos for Hook. Jungle Boy comes out with a 2x4, almost takes him out. Well, actually does take him out. Almost hits him in the face with one. I guess they teased like a headshot. Obviously, that was never going to happen. They escape. So I'm assuming eventually we're going to get Jungle Boy and Hook versus Big Bill and Lee Moriarty. I can only assume it's going to happen in Los Angeles because they're stacking the card, and having Jungle Boy team up with Hook in that kind of a profile match, I figured that probably belongs on that show, but we'll see. They might have announced it tonight. I don't even fucking remember. They show a video package of Chris Jericho basically getting his ass whooped the last couple of weeks. Lost to Action Andretti about 2 weeks ago. Gets taken out by Andretti last week. So basically he says he's going to fight Ricky Starks in Seattle next week. Oh, so I guess Los Angeles is 2 weeks from now. My bad. He's going to beat Ricky Starks in Seattle next week. He mentioned, also last week, he freaking wizarded. He pulled out the wizard shit and lit Action Andretti's face on fire with a fireball. So he basically says that he says to stay out of AEW, and that's pretty much it. So it's going to be Jericho versus Starks next week in Seattle. Renee Paquette is backstage with Swerve Strickland and Parker Bordeaux and this random motherfucker who I'm not sure who his name is. Renee calls the actions that they took against Keith Lee last week disgusting. That was when Swerve did the Swerve stomp of the cinder block onto Keith Lee's chest on top of the stairs. So that was pretty impressive. They're going to find out. So they basically are going to reveal who the guy is with the tattoos in due time. I can tell you this right now. I'm not holding my fucking breath. I don't really fucking care. Wheeler comes out, interrupts Swerve, says his opinion of him couldn't get any lower. He's out here talking about a guy who's not here to defend himself again. He's like, I'll challenge you to a match on Rampage. So Strickland versus Moriarty. Strickland versus Swerve. Fuck. Strickland versus fucking Wheeler Yuta on Rampage. God damn it. Next match, Best of 7 series, match 6. The Elite, consisting of Kenny Omega and the Young Bucks, which are Matt and Nick Jackson, accompanied to the ring by Brandon Cutler, Michael Nakazawa, and Don fucking Callis. They defeat, again, the AEW current trios champions Death Triangle, consisting of Pac and the Lucha Brothers, Penta El Cero Miedo, and Rey Fenix, along with Alex Abrahantes, in a Falls Count Anywhere match. This match was fucking nuts. This match to me was match of the night. It was just so fucking entertaining. It was a great way to push this to a match 7. These guys immediately were fighting before they even got to the ring. They were fighting backstage. It brought them all the way into the ring. They fought on the ramp. There was a tornado off of the trellis from Fenix. There was a one-winged angel out of the crowd. I think that Rey Fenix fucked up his shoulder. I'm not 100% certain. It looked so fucking limp in one of those scenes, and it looked limp again after he took that one-winged angel. So I am curious as to whether or not he is or isn't hurt. It would really suck if he did get hurt right before match 7. But I mean, the way these guys wrestled, I'm shocked that they thought that any of these guys were going to stay healthy for 7 matches. But we'll see. These guys beat the ever-loving fucking shit out of each other. We had V-triggers onto Pac while he was inside the trash can. We had triple drop kicks on one of the Young Bucks while they were inside a trash can. We had a doctor bomb on top of the trash can. We had people getting suplexed on the ramp. We had people getting suplexed onto the concrete. We had people getting beat up in the crowd. We had people getting beat up outside. This match was fucking incredible. All right? This was a great match. And somehow if anyone could keep 7 matches entertaining, it would be the Young Bucks and fucking Death Triangle. Awesome match. The Elite come away with the victory. Something in the timing got all fucked up towards the end. Obviously, I think they were trying to time Matt Jackson tapping and Rey Fenix getting pinned. But I guess it was a communication snafu. No one rang the bell after they counted the 3 count for fucking Rey Fenix and Omega. So Pac had Matt Jackson and the Brutalizer for an comfortable period of time. But whatever, the Elite win. They go to a game 7. We all fucking knew this. The ladder match is going to be crazy. Someone's probably going to die. The Elite and the Bucks are going to end up coming away with the trios titles. I would not be surprised if immediately fucking after that match, the House of Black comes and beats the ever-living shit out of those guys. But we'll see. But the trios division is finally happening. And we're seeing trios matches, and we're seeing matches that have to do with a belt or are leading towards a belt. I'm all for this. Super exciting. Hooray for me. The match after this, and I'm a little bit like, it was an okay match. You know, like that's why I was like in the middle of doing shit while watching the match. Like it just didn't grab me. Anna Jay, like I said, she needs a lot more work. Tay Mello, I wish they did more with. As a singles wrestler, I wish that she wasn't always mentioned in the same sentence as Sammy Guevara. I wish that I just wish she was doing her own thing. But like she has matches on the side, but normally she comes out as arm candy with Sammy Guevara. But it's whatever. But they end up beating Ruby Soho and Willow Nightingale. Ruby Soho is just kind of there. You know what I mean? She came in really hot. They gave her a couple of title matches. She broke her nose. She was off television. Now they got to rehabilitate her character just because she's been gone for a while. Willow Nightingale, we all know how I feel about this. I'm not a fan of the gimmick. She's a great worker. I'm not a fan of the gimmick. And until I'm a fan of the gimmick, like I just can't get behind the character. I'm sorry. But they lost. And if they were 2 people who you were going to beat and have Ty Conti and Ty Mello and Anna Jay continue a feud with, this was the team to beat. The end. So this next match, like, I hate injury angles. You know what I mean? I hate it because like all I want to do is see who wins and who loses. And injury angles, you just know it's either going to be a massive come from behind victory or the guy who you expect to lose is going to lose, but this is a way to kind of protect him. Now, obviously, they don't want Wardlow. I guess they don't want Wardlow losing, so losing again to Samoa Joe. And obviously, they're not going to have Samoa Joe lose the belt. So what they do to kind of protect Wardlow, they have him get Nancy Kerrigan. Pretty much the first like half, maybe even 3/4 of the match, Wardlow was selling the leg. He tries to, he obviously tries to go for a comeback. And eventually it's Samoa Joe that comes away with the victory. Darby Allin's music hits at the end, attacks Samoa Joe, held the TNT title. I'm very curious if they're going to have Darby beat Samoa Joe. I mean, Samoa Joe doesn't need 2 belts. Oh, it was a Saito suplex he tried to do. Oh, thank you, Royal. Appreciate that. But yeah, it's Darby Allin. I don't know what's going on with Darby. Like, I feel like now here's what I think. I think that Darby Allin is going to be the guy who eventually beats MJF for the title. I think it's going to happen probably sometime in like 2024. I think MJF is going to go on like a Roman heel run and just keep on beating everybody. I think he'll be solo for a bit. I think he'll finally build up a stable. Maybe like if MJF has a stable, he should have a stable of like 2 other guys who are really good at talking and are compelling characters and guys who you also want to see their asses get whooped. You know what I mean? Don't pair him with like the Gun Club. Like pair him with like established fucking like stank ass heels. Like that's what I want. Ricky Starks should beat Samoa Joe. I could see that. Because Ricky Starks is a fantastic underdog and the crowd is behind him. And having Ricky Starks beat Samoa Joe, I could totally see that happening. Maybe I see Samoa Joe dropping one of those belts at Revolution. I think that's a long enough period of time for him to be a 2-belt champion. Remember, people, he still has another belt. So someone should be beating Samoa Joe at Revolution. I think Process in the chat is right. I think that Ricky Starks would be a fantastic person to beat Samoa Joe for the title. It's now the reason why I was mentioning Darby Allin beating MJF and it happening in 2024 is because I'm trying to think, if you do end up having Darby win the belt, how much time is left before his inevitable, if I'm correct, how much time is left before you have to start building up a title program with him and MJF? And obviously, he can't be, unless you're going to make him double champion, which I don't think they're going to make Darby Allin a double champion and have the TNT and the AEW belts. That would be interesting if they did. If there was ever a guy for them to do it on, it would probably be Darby. He's an AEW original. He's super over with the crowd no matter what he does. So it's a possibility. But if they're not going to start, I think the double champion thing you want to do pretty sparingly. I mean, you had Omega have multiple belts. You had fucking, you have Samoa Joe have multiple belts. You had FTR have multiple belts. I want them, like, double belts should be a thing reserved for, like, the most over of people. And, like, I don't know. I don't know. I don't know if I would put, double belts on Darby. But you would have to obviously have him lose that belt and then have enough storyline to rehabilitate his character, or you're going to put him immediately into a title picture with MJF and then have that build, and then there's a championship match. So I would say, like, you would need maybe like a year of booking time, which you do have, because technically you have like a year and a half of MJF being champ before he drops it in 2024. So we'll see. But now that process mentions Ricky Starks, I feel less confident about a Darby Allin TNT championship victory and more confident about a Ricky Starks one. Because I think Ricky Starks could do very well with the championship and very well with a championship run, and he could be a mega baby face, and they've already had heel monster champions. It's time to put a cruiserweight in there who could really talk and wrestle the rest of the roster who aren't a bunch of big guys. It's hard to book for big men unless there's other big men. Why do you think they made Samoa Joe and Powerhouse Hobbs? Like, they really made a thing about this shit. So, whatever. That's it. That's the end of the show. I thought that there would be more matches, but I forgot that was the main event. Rampage, as it stands this Friday, Orange Cassidy defends his All-Atlantic title against Trent Beretta. Jamie Hayter is going to speak. Jade Cargill defends the TBS title against Kiera Hogan. Swerve faces ROH Pure Champion Wheeler Yuta. And John Moxley's going to say something. And next week on Dynamite, Chris Jericho takes on Ricky Starks. All right. We are done with the Dynamite review. Let's talk about this past year, 2020. Things to me that stood out this past year. Forbidden Door. I thought that was one of my favorite pay-per-views of the year. I thought one of the best matches this year was on that pay-per-view, and that was, I love you too, Jordan! I'm telling you, man, one of these days, you and I are going to rule wrestling podcasting together, all right? As long as fucking Bruce would get out of our way, then it would happen. One of my favorite matches on that card was Will Ospreay versus Orange Cassidy. That was probably one of my favorite matches of the year in terms of singles matches. I thought the stuff this year with the Bloodline was top fucking notch. I thought one of the best matches that I saw this year was Roman versus Drew at Clash of the Castle. I do share the opinion with a lot of people that if you wanted Roman to drop the belt, that was definitely the time to do it. Drew was mega over. He was in front of his hometown crowd. You would have had that moment on camera forever. You could have used that to catapult his ass into the fucking stratosphere. But if you were to tell me that we were going to see the stuff with the Bloodline that we were currently seeing right now, and it would only work if Roman was champion, I would have not changed that booking and still had Roman win. But that was one of my favorite matches of the year. The matches with FTR and the Briscoes this year were fucking awesome. The matches with Okada and Will Ospreay this year were fucking awesome. The trios matches this year between Death Triangle and the Elite were fucking awesome. Stuff that sucked. CM Punk, he sucks. His attitude sucks. The negative effect he had on AEW, they still haven't recovered from. Let's put it that way. That was fucking awful. That was the only thing. 2022, Vince no longer running the WWE in the same year that Triple H retires, in the same year that Cody leaves AEW as an EVP and shows up at WrestleMania to fight fucking Seth Rollins, goes on to tear his pec, have one of the best matches of his career against Seth at Hell in a Cell with the torn pec, and is most likely going to come back in 2023, win the Royal Rumble, and beat Roman for the belt. That was another huge moment. A lot of big moments in wrestling. I would probably... Oh yeah, and fucking Stone Cold comes back, wrestles at WrestleMania, takes a back body drop on the concrete by Kevin fucking Owens. Wait, hold on. Oh, Pat McAfee has a match with Vince. Pat McAfee's match with Austin Theory was one of my favorite matches. Did that happen this year? That does happen this year. Yeah, the match that he had at SummerSlam I didn't think was as good, but the match he had at WrestleMania was fucking great. God, what else? So much fucking shit happened this year. Mandy Rose's butthole, that happened this year. The return of Paige, that happened this year. Backstage fights and having bitching on Twitter became one of the most popular gimmicks in wrestling. I'm talking to you, fucking Andrade. A whole bunch of shit. So riddle me this. Wee Man body slams Sami Zayn, and now Sami Zayn goes from that to one of the most over characters in the entire company, and one of the most over programs with the most over faction in professional wrestling today. That is insane. You go from getting body slammed by fucking Wee Man to being in the main event picture all the time. When Sami Zayn shows up on TV, people turn around and they pay attention. That is fucking wild. Jamie Hayter finally getting her due. That happened this year. I thought that Sami Zayn in that gigantic man-shaped rat trap was the funniest fucking thing I've ever seen in my entire life. Speaking of Sami Zayn, War Games, that was awesome. What else? God, so much shit. Not gonna lie, like, All Out this year was a great show outside of fucking the shit that happened with CM Punk. All Out was a great show. The injuries to Adam Cole, he's been gone for a while. The injury to Hangman Page, concussion. 100%. Rhea Ripley has been built up so much with Judgment Day. I mean, honestly, they should really put her out there more as like the de facto leader of that group if they haven't already. But I agree with Jordan. I think that 2023 is going to be a big year for Rhea Ripley. I think she's been in the spotlight. I think she's been doing great at it. She's got the creative direction of Triple H, so she's not going to get ruined by Vince. So I definitely think that 2023 is definitely going to be a good year for Rhea Ripley. I think 2023 is going to be a good year for Ricky Starks. Definitely. I think 2023 is going to be a good year for Powerhouse Hobbs. I think a lot of the AEW originals, the younger talent, the ones that you want to see them re-signing and carrying the company going forward, the next 2 years are going to be big. I think I'm very excited to see what goes on with AEW in 2023. I hope they shake off all the bad juju that happened. Oh, Mox going into freaking Mox going into rehab. That was a big thing. The injuries going on to Kenny Omega. That was a big thing. Yeah, I think I want bigger and better things for Darby. I think he's one of the best prospects that they have. I think if Darby's contract goes up, if he hasn't signed an extension already, if I were Tony, I would do everything I can to keep him signed. Jeff Hardy falling off the wagon again and getting suspended. That fucking happened. Lacey Evans getting into hot water by talking about autism on Twitter. That fucking happened. Oh, maybe even maybe a co-host for 2023. That would be great. If Jordan, if you did that, I would permanently add Raw and SmackDown reviews for us to do, so that there is equal parts freaking every indie AEW shit and WWE. And I think it would be a fantastic. Jordan and I we love wrestling like equally, but we do have very differing opinions on the kind of entertainment that we like to watch. But it's like someone arguing against chocolate or vanilla. I mean, they're both fucking good ice creams, you know what I mean? But some people prefer one over the other. But I think that his perspective would add a really fantastic element to the show. And if that fucking happens, I'd be excited. We're being talks. His people will call my people. So yeah, 2023 gonna definitely be a big year for professional wrestling. Hopefully it's gonna be a year where AEW kind of gets back on the horse. When they went on that hot streak, it all started at Revolution with the fantastic tag match with Hangman Page and Kenny Omega versus the Bucks. I hope that they could recapture that same magic for this Revolution and get back on the ball. I think if people could stay healthy and all the booking that they plan on going on in terms of like long-term booking. Ooh, Warzone. Dude, we got to play Warzone, dude. If you need someone tonight to play, if you need a third for a quad, you let me know. All right? Because I've been playing multiplayer for weeks, every night. And then I'll play some DMZ. But I will definitely hop into some fucking Warzone with you. If you don't want to do any multiplayer, I will hop into some Warzone with you. So you better, your bitch ass better text me if you need me. As soon as I'm done with this show, I'm probably going to play for a bit. Next year also is going to be, I think, the first full calendar year that Triple H is going to have in terms of booking. This will be his first full WrestleMania that he's going to book. So it's going to be pretty interesting. It's going to be pretty exciting. It should be a great year. Also, a lot of the restrictions for New Japan are dropping. The new year starts off with Wrestle Kingdom. I took both days off from work to watch it. I'm gonna get to see Omega versus Ospreay to start the year off. Can't think of any better way to start the year off. And also Okada versus Jay White. So 2023 is gonna start off great. 2022 in terms of professional wrestling was very rocky year for everybody. A lot of ups, a lot of downs. Hopefully, let's see all companies on the up and up. New Japan, Ring of Honor, AEW, WWE, and let's have a great fucking 2023 of professional wrestling. Guys, it's been an amazing year. This is the first year of the podcast in the books. 2022 ends with episode 46. The next episode will be in 2023, episode 47. So I want to thank all you guys who have been watching since the very beginning. Doom, Jordan, Process, Royal, Richie, Josh, Evan's been on the in the chat. Sarah's been on there. Rob has been on there. So a lot of these guys, obviously, you know, if anyone who is watching this who doesn't know me personally, you found this out through the grapevine. A lot of these people are my friends. So thank you very much, my friends, for supporting the show, taking time out of your week and listening to me talk about wrestling and rant and rave and yell for an hour every week. I am very excited for 2023 as I get to know more about this whole podcasting thing and YouTube and OBS and guest hosts and streaming and this and that. I am hopefully slowly but surely going to start making improvements to the show and give you guys a better product to listen to each week, a little bit more variety. We still have that partnership going with hitskipintro.com. We still have that partnership going on with Boone Syndication over on YouTube. So there are going to be a lot of exciting things. Hopefully we will get those NXT Black and Gold reviews up and running with me and John Ortiz. So there are a lot of things I'm very excited for. Obviously, we might have a new co-host in Jordan on the staple Smells Like Wrestling shows each week. So a lot of stuff we're going to be working on. I'm going to make sure my very best that once something launches, it launches with the utmost quality. I will continue to practice and hone my craft in the background to make sure when I launch something, it's going to be great when it launches. And hopefully no more half measures. So 2023, big year for all of us. I want to thank you guys again very much for tuning in. Thank you to my longtime listeners. You guys have a great rest of 2022 and have a phenomenal 2023. Take care, guys. Be safe. Arrivederci.